Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers Russell Wilson forever grateful to Seahawks after awesome gift. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Seattle Seahawks are two NFL franchises on opposite ends of the geographical spectrum with plenty of potential to have great seasons in 2024. Ex-Seahawks and current Steelers QB Russell Wilson is now 2 NFL stops removed from his time in the Pacific Northwest, but he is far from forgotten in Seattle. Wilson unveiled a gift sent to him by the Seahawks organization that fans will almost certainly love as much as he did. Wilson's video of the amazing gift came amid news of 3 candidates to be cut from the team on Pittsburgh's current roster. Meanwhile, Wilson was hit with a Super Bowl reality check by commentator Rich Eisen. Wilson's gift is a small and thoughtful gesture in the grand scheme of things, but it showed that his former team was clearly thinking about him. Wilson bristled with gratitude as he unveiled the gift in question, a throwback Seahawks jersey with his name and number on it. "Seahawks, super grateful for you guys sending me this," Wilson said. "Obviously a lot of amazing memories there, so you guys sending me this means the world to me, forever grateful," Wilson concluded. The ex-Broncos star Wilson showed off his boxing-ready physique in the ring with legendary trainer Freddie Roach and Filipino boxer Marvin Somodio recently. At age 35, the Steelers' Wilson is taking a page from Jerry Rice's playbook by getting in tip-top shape heading into the 2024 to 2025 fall NFL season, judging by photos he shared on Twitter recently. Back in the ring. Started in 2018 through 2020. Had some of my best years. Then COVID hit in 2020 and couldn't go back in. Good to see my guys again. Freddie Roach and Marvin Somodio #Quick Feet Heavy Hands. Many fans have counted the current Steelers QB Wilson out because he is on his 3rd team since 2021 and is getting up there in NFL years. What many don't realize is that there is plenty of precedent for quarterbacks to win a championship in their mid to late 30s and 40s. The oldest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl was Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at age 43, suggesting that there is plenty of time for the former Broncos QB Wilson to lead his Steelers to NFL glory. Wilson quietly threw for 26 touchdowns against 8 interceptions and over 3,000 yards for the Denver Broncos last season. He will have a chance to play for a Steelers team loaded with offensive talent, including George Pickens as WR1, Najee Harris at running back, and promising rookie Roman Wilson at wide receiver along with hulking lineman Troy Fautanu of the Washington Huskies, who was selected number 20 overall in the 2024 NFL Draft. 90-30, Steelers 2024 Training Camp Preview Series, Jahri Jenkins, Karen Johnson, Cameron Johnston. The Pittsburgh Steelers' 2024 offseason practices concluded in the middle of June. Next up is the team's annual training camp, which gets underway in the latter part of July at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. Ahead of Steelers training camp, we will preview the team's offseason roster 3 players at a time as part of a multi-post series. This Steelers roster preview, which includes outlooks for every player, will be done alphabetically by last name to make it easy to follow. This series figures to exceed 90 players this year as the team can carry 91 players in total during the offseason due to the allowance of 1 international player designation. The next set of players we will preview ahead of the Steelers' 2024 training camp are Jahri Jenkins, Karen Johnson, and Cameron Johnston. Jahri Jenkins. The Steelers added Jenkins to their offseason roster in early June, and now the LSU product and former undrafted free agent seems set to attend training camp with the team at the end of July. Originally signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2023 as an undrafted free agent, Jenkins wound up sustaining a foot injury last summer that resulted in him being waived/injured with a settlement. That injury reportedly required surgery, and Jenkins ultimately did not surface on an NFL practice squad last season. In his 4 seasons at LSU, Jenkins, who measured in at the 2023 NFL Scouting Combine at 6,015, 204 pounds, registered 89 receptions for 1,370 yards and 14 touchdowns. Last year, during the preseason, Jenkins registered just 2 receptions for 32 yards in limited playing time of 37 offensive snaps. Outlook: Jenkins' late arrival on the roster this offseason will put him behind the 8 ball once training camp gets underway in late July. On top of that, the Steelers have several more experienced wide receivers on their roster who will serve as legitimate competition for Jenkins. It should also be noted that Jenkins' long speed isn't all that great. He also had 9 drops in college. Merely staying on the Steelers' offseason roster through the preseason would be a huge accomplishment for Jenkins. In summation, Jenkins' best shot at sticking in Pittsburgh after the preseason ends would likely be as a practice squad player. He has a tough battle ahead of him at training camp this year, and the numbers at the wide receiver position really work against him. OLB Kieran Johnson: the Steelers originally signed Johnson to their practice squad last October after the Philadelphia Eagles cut him loose. From there, Johnson, a former 6th-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft of the Eagles, was elevated to the active/inactive game day roster 3 times during the second half of the season before ultimately being signed to the 53-man roster in late December and right after OLB TJ Watt went down injured. In total, Johnson played in 7 games for the Steelers in 2023. One of those contests was the wild card game. Analysts believe Steelers should bolster D-line, sign Lawrence Guy. As Dave Bryan has pointed out many times over this offseason and previous ones, the Pittsburgh Steelers Week 1 roster is likely to feature someone not currently on the team. Be it a signing, waiver claim, trade, or combination of the 3, someone new will be on a plane to Atlanta prior to September 8's kickoff. Monday, Pro Football Network's Lorenzo Reyna listed 1 free agent each team should add to bolster their roster. For the Steelers, that's DT Lawrence Guy. Cornerback is a need, but so is interior help for TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. With Lawrence Guy having a history of collapsing pockets inside, he could be welcomed here greatly. Guy, 34 years old, has appeared in 177 games and made 122 starts. Known for his ability to stop the run, sack production has never been his strong suit. His career high came in 2015 with the Baltimore Ravens, finishing with 4.5, and he didn't record one last season. In 2023, he appeared in all 17 games with the New England Patriots, making 38 tackles, including 1 for a loss. His numbers might be light, but Guy showed he can still control the line of scrimmage. Under a new coaching regime, Guy was released in February. Per Pro Football Focus charting, he mostly logged time at left end and left defensive tackle. That would provide end depth behind LD/LDT Larry Ogunjobi, something the Steelers could use. Pittsburgh has end depth in Isaiah Loudermilk and free agent addition Dean Lowry, but they have largely played on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Loudermilk logged only 38 snaps at LD last season, while Lowry played far more on the right side than left. Backups need to be flexible, and it's likely Loudermilk and Lowry move around the front, but some players are more comfortable on one side and working out of a left/right-handed stance. In his mid-30s and late in free agency, Guy should come cheap, and Pittsburgh has the cap space, plus the ability to create more, to make his contract fit. Pittsburgh's goal isn't to get much older on a defensive line that has plenty of, let's call it, wisdom. Guy can stop the run, and that's always important to the Steelers. But adding someone with more pass rush juice would be a better use of resources, giving them sub-package pieces to get after the quarterback. Based on Guy's declining production, his ability to get after quarterbacks is dwindling, leaving him as run stuffer with limited upside. There were summer suggestions for this team to add, but Guy's services aren't needed. Not right now. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Lawrence Guy? Leave your opinion in the comments.